Okay, this is a test. This is a test to see if I like how this looks. Should probably have better hair if I'm ever gonna present myself. I think I can make a thumbnail that I like. I'm very, charismatic and interesting. So this should be no problem. All right. Oh. Hello. Hello. This is my clickbait. Loki. Yeah. You just gotta get a look at her. She's very upset today. Okay. Hello. This is so typical. A first video, an introduction, hello to the world. Yep, that's it. That's what this is. My name is Oriana, and I'm an artist. And that's pretty much all that I am. Yeah. Being an artist is really being a human being, and being a human being is being an artist. But to my credit, I have been studying for 10 years now, or more than 10 years now, like all sorts of art forms, specifically visual art. Oh my God, I hate this. Make it stop. Hi. Jesus. I'm full of fluff. My cat has been stress shedding all over me. Anyway, my name is Oriana, and I'm an artist. I'm an illustrator, and I'm about to start my last semester of school ever tomorrow. And more specifically, I'm doing a thesis, which confuses literally anyone I tell about it, because what are you supposed to do as an illustrator for a thesis? Isn't that supposed to be like a 12-page research? Well, in my case, thesis is a visual kind of research, an 8-image gigantic project where I pour all of my artistic self, expression, and marketability, and everything I've ever learned into one thing. Which I guess that's what a thesis is for any area, but that's what it is for me. That isn't just, one layer. It's a story with like a sequence and steps and things happening. I've done comics, and I've written prose, more specifically fan fiction. Fan fiction is pretty much the only reason I know how to storytell. Well, not really the only reason. The only reason I ever published anything or, put myself out there. And I guess this is another way of doing that. I have a backstory of being an artist. I have a story I tell, of myself, because, I talk to people, and being an artist is supposed to be this special thing, like, oh, you've got a gift from the heavens. But it really didn't start out that way at all. It started with me being determined to make something myself when I wasn't allowed to get what I wanted. If my mom told me, no, you can't get this merch, you can't get this thing, I would go home and say, I'll make it myself. I'll do what I have to do. I have 2 hands, I have my mind, I'll make it. And I've been doing that ever since. I think I can start this journey really by showing what I've been working on. So this past semester, I did 4 illustrations for my thesis, and this semester I'm doing 4 more. So here's the big explanation of everything. I wrote a short story about these 2 lawyers, Aaron Barr and Sheena Ainsley, in Scotland in the 1920s. It got really specific, But what was really the heart of the story was the Selkie. And she was like accused of murder. And really, she was guilty of murder. But through the story, Sheena learns about herself and has solidarity with this fellow woman creature and sets her free. Learns about the supernatural and learns about like real justice. That's the theme. But anyway, I wanted to bring that into my thesis. I wanted it to be my entire thing. But my instructor very wisely said that nobody would care about it since nobody knows me. I haven't really had any credits being published anywhere or doing anything since I'm still a student. So he suggested that I find a way to make variety and show off all my different skills in my different illustrations. So what I thought was that I could imagine sequels to the short story of the different adventures my lawyers would go on, taking on different cases, defending and representing different magical creatures in cases and lawsuits and defenses, prosecutions, things like that. So I came up with 8 different examples and like little storylines, and I've been making illustrations about it ever since. So I guess I can show those off now. So this is illustration number 1, case number 1. Hag versus hag in a custody battle for one child that they both kidnapped. So yeah, the whole tone of my thesis is pretty like lighthearted. It's not too serious, mostly. What's really funny about this illustration to me is that I cropped it. You know, it used to have more at the bottom, more at the top, but my instructor wanted me to cut all of this off, like take all of that off, get rid of this man. And I just couldn't do it. I have this thing where I feel like I have to have both of my characters in every single illustration. It just wouldn't feel right without them. So yeah, I did this with gouache, pencil crayon, and ink. And that's gonna be pretty much my mediums for most of my illustrations. It's like, yep, this is illustration number 2. It's a contract or a fake document showing a peace agreement between 2 different tribes of goblins, red caps and blue caps. I wrote the calligraphy myself. The red caps, blue caps, peace agreement, all that jazz. My 2 lawyers are here. Erin in the corner, Sheena up here. The symbols of justice and peace respectively. We got the conflict, the harmony, the symbols of the 2 different tribes, and decoration. I absolutely love decoration, especially when it's kind of medieval inspired, kind of British. I'm obsessed with book illustration, which is one of the focuses of this thesis. People who want book illustration and editorial illustration, who I want to work for, will see this stuff when I display it at the end of the year. So that's really my target audience. Yeah. So this is number 3. This case is Cthulhu begging for a restraining order against the cults that want to summon him. This might be my funniest idea, honestly, to have this gigantic eldritch creature be begging for help from these tiny little human lawyers. This was also really fun to make because of the color palette being different from the other ones, more muted, more chill. Yeah, it was pretty easy for me to make. It wasn't too much like excruciating detail as other ones. So I think just had fun. And the latest one is a fake newspaper. I had it printed on newsprint using a risograph machine. And this case is of a pixie wanting to compete in horse racing. They're a pixie that can like shapeshift into a real horse or like a full horse. So they were being discriminated against because they're magic, and they won a landmark case to allow magical creatures to play in sports. And see, it has details. I love details. So this one has the Inverness Times, which is like the city, the Scottish city where these guys usually work. It's got a fake article. It's got race results with the horse not having a jockey because he rides himself. And yeah. Oh, I also used real photography as a background to my illustrations, which is fun. And look, my little pixie guy is adorable. He's just a little cutie. It was very fun. My instructor was particularly impressed by this one. And I'm probably gonna make more risograph print material for my big presentation at the end of the year. My next two are gonna be also a fun time. Case number 5 is a vampire versus his servant. The vampire is suing their servant for not disclosing their illness or like breaking their contract. So it's like contract law. And my idea of how to illustrate it is through the format of a courtroom sketch, where I have the vampire acting out in the courtroom and like trying to get him. And illustration number 6 is of a lindworm, which is a kind of dragon. And the legend of lindworms is that if they lie on something for a long time or sleep on something, it makes it grow. So it's sort of like property destruction case where the lindworm fell asleep on someone's garden and completely ruined it by making it grow too much. So I kind of have some ideas about making it more 2D and pattern based and having a lot of decorative things going on with that one. The process of making these illustrations is really fun because we have to get rejected a bunch of times by our instructor, get pushed a bunch of times. So like I come up with a sketch, I bring it to him, and then he says, it's derivative, it's cliche, you gotta change everything, you have to try again. And we do that like 4 times before I can do my actual final. And we only have 1 week for our final. And sometimes an illustration takes like 5 hours, 10 hours, because I've decided to do everything, almost everything, analog or with a high amount of detail, because that's just how I am. Can't change that. When it comes to personal work, I haven't really done a lot when school happens. Usually in the summer, I end up writing a fanfic or writing a story, coming up with these big ideas. Like I have a gigantic script for this comic that I've been trying to make for years, but you know, I'm more determined to do it now. I finally feel like I have all the skills, all the things that I need to make that happen. So that's part of it, just stories to write. I have this little like whiteboard with all my creative writing and how much I've done of each one and where my plans are at. But in terms of like art and illustrations, I never really did a lot of personal work. I would, just do fan arts and things inspired by other things. But nowadays, I actually did some really good stuff and I'm proud of. I did a painting for my stepdad. It was commissioned, so I got money. And it was like a recreation of a tile pattern by William Morris, like this 19th century English craftsman, and he was amazing. Love him. Anyway, I did a 36 by 36 acrylic painting version of a tile, and I like added my own details and expanded the pattern and made things symmetrical, and it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun just making a pattern. And I also recently saw a film, Marty Supreme, and I kind of made a painting about it. and I'm still working on it, but it's just for fun, you know, just for me. In the future, I think I want to keep painting. I feel like it's like a completely different kind of thing than drawing, and I'm really enjoying it. I've learned a lot about painting. Anyway, my Martin Supreme painting, I think it's like getting me to seriously think about making marketable stuff that I can sell, like paintings I can sell. I've always had this idea that I can like make paintings and art about the stories I love, and someone else who loves those stories could enjoy that work either as like an original or a copy, you know? I feel like that's like a business I can get into. And maybe I'll start with this painting. It's pretty exciting for me. So, making these videos is kind of a way to track myself, to learn as I try to make an identity for myself as an artist, you know, a brand, I don't know, a story, a specialty. I want to do everything, but I don't think I can. So I just have to figure out what I like by trying things. And I guess I'm trying this first. So some more things about me, maybe as I talk out what I'm going to do. I love painting. I want to sell them. I love stories. I want to publish them. I love illustrating and solving problems. I want to do that for people. Any kind of clients. And yeah. I also want to reduce the amount of hobbies I have because it's seriously killing me. I think these videos will be me on my journey, you know? Trying things, figuring out what I like, what I don't like. Maybe I'll make an essay or two. I love doing that kind of nerdy shit. I love it. So I'll figure out how to make a video essay one of these days. I think it would be cool.